All things covered, listeners and viewers. Once again, we're back right at it with an outstanding show for you guys. Right now, when you look at our show, we oftentimes highlight guys in the secondary, but we felt it's only right that we bring a guy who actually put points on the scoreboard. A guy I believe, and we will hit on this throughout the show, will be a huge fantasy asset for a lot of fantasy owners because I do play fantasy football. I'm retired, so I can tap into those extracurricular activities. But this individual, a fourth-round pick in 2018 out of Fordham, spent 4 years with Arizona. Now he is a part of one of the hottest teams in the National Football League. I guess I would say had one of the hottest offseason in the National Football League. You can follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Chase Edmonds 22. Like I said, on both handles, you can follow him with the same name. And oh, by the way, Pat P, man, we it's a special day for us because this man is dedicated. He is joining us on his birthday. Oh, man. Chase Edmonds' birthday right now for all you Chase Edmonds fans who root and cheer for him week in and week out, who love the Cardinals, who love the Miami Dolphins. Wish this man a happy birthday, Chase. Number one, thank you for joining us on your birthday.
Yes,
and how old did you turn today?
Man, I turned 26, man. I'm getting old, man.
Yeah.
26. 26.
Enjoy it.
26. You tell me getting
closer to 30. It hit me hard, though. I feel like I'm closer to 30 now.
You 4 years away from 30, man. You were just 21, 5 years ago, man?
Yeah.
Hey, but happy birthday to you, man. How you feeling? How you doing?
Happy birthday.
I appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that, P2. Yeah, thank y'all for having me on, man. But I'm feeling real blessed, feeling excited, man. I actually just got down here to South Florida. Yesterday actually was the first day I touched down. So today was my first day at the facility. I had just got done with a family vacation. I took my my sister out to DR. So that was kind of my little birthday celebration.
Okay.
But then Matt being from that area, South Florida, how you enjoying that South Florida weather so far?
Oh yeah, I'm enjoying the P2. It's a little more rain than AZ, but I already caught like my first rain shower when I was driving on the highway. It hit me real quick and got up out of there. But I'm definitely enjoying it, man. I've been down here quite a few times, so I'm used to this.
Well, we're gonna see if he has the same thought process when July hit, when that humidity tap in. It's different than that AZ. That AZ got that dry heat.
I know.
Boy, that July, August.
Humidity is different, bro. It's different. Sir. I'm already knowing.
Yeah, and in AZ, you guys play in an indoor facility, so out there in the old Joe Robbie Stadium for you diehard Dolphin fans, the Hard Rock right now ain't no legit roof. Ain't no. What'd you say, Pat P?
I said it's Hard Rock now, Cat.
I know, but I thought Joe Robbie. People forget it used to be called Joe Robbie when you was legit.
I ain't never heard of Joe Robbie in my life. I can't even lie to you.
See that? I just gave you some history on the stadium you will be participating in. It's Hard Rock Stadium, but once upon a time, when Pat P was a faithful Dolphin fan, it was Joe Robbie Stadium.
Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, that song. Yeah, no doubt. So Chase, let's take it up north real quick. Since you down south, let's take it up north. You grew up in Harrisburg, PA. Who were your football influences growing up?
Oh, for surely LeSean McCoy.
Yeah,
Shady was just my influence just because he was right up the road. So I went to a public school called CD East, and Shady went to McDevitt. So I remember being a little kid, man. And back in those days, they used to get the volunteers to hold the chains in high school games straight off the high school attendees. So my dad would make sure he was the first one to get there. And I remember the game where Shady ran for like 400 yards. My dad, he was holding the chains and he forgot to drop the chains. Yeah, he ran for 400, I think, against like Red Line or something like that in high school. I was at that game though, and my dad was holding the chains. And I remember, you know how when the like a running back or somebody's running towards the sideline, you're supposed to drop the chains,
right?
And of course, his ass ain't drop it, and Shady bent it in half, running through it. But just growing up, watching Shady, man, being able to see him come from high school and being able to see his career and where he goes to Philly, he starts snapping and seeing him on Nike billboards from back home. Kind of being from a small city, that was big time motivation for me.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. I had the pleasure to play with my young guy Chase here, and I must say you was by far one of the funniest guys on the team and one of the funniest.
I appreciate that, P.
It was never a dull moment when you was in that locker room for sure. But you was the MVP of this Big 33 game. For those who are unfamiliar, can you explain the significance of that game?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't even know if this record still stands, but like the bragging rights that the Big 33 always had was that for like the last like 40 Super Bowls, it was never not a member of a Super Bowl team that didn't play in the Big 33 game. It was like for like some 30, 40 Super Bowls straight that
Wow.
yeah, somebody that played in the Big 33 game had played in the Super Bowl consecutively, which is crazy.
Chase, do you remember any of the notable names that played in the Big 33 game that also played in the Super Bowl?
Not only that, but explain the state that you played against.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was growing up, it used to be Pennsylvania and Ohio. And they would take the best kids from Pennsylvania, they take the best kids from Ohio, and they take the 33 each from each state, and then they play each other. But then as I was growing up, I remember Ohio had, they must have won like 10 some years straight. Cause I remember they had like Big Ben one year. They had like Terrell Pryor.
T. Pryor was some in high school.
Yeah, they had some dogs, man, coming out of Ohio. And so they ended up switching it from Ohio to Maryland.
No, Chase. Terrell went to Terrell was in Pittsburgh.
Terrell was
PA.
in PA, huh?
Yeah,
he did go to PA.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Who else was in Ohio? It was, bro. They was killing us, though,
Ted
bro.
Ginn, Mario Meningham, Tyler Boyd.
T. Boyd was PA. I remember
Big
that.
Ben. I think Charles Woodson was in it also back in the day. Bob,
if you go back in the day, I'm pretty sure Montana played in it.
Bob Sanders.
Bob Sanders?
Yeah, Bob Sanders also. Charles Woodson.
It was some big names though, bro. It was some big names. And that was kind of their bragging rights type of thing. And then we ended up switching to Maryland the year before my senior year, which was 2013. So I think 2013 was the first year I switched to Maryland.
And what's the reason y'all switched to Maryland?
Man, it was running through us, bro. I remember I went to one game, we lost like about 45 points or something like that, bro, in the All-Star game. It was crazy.
All-Star game.
It was crazy. It was bad. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with them boys, man. I think I really think it's because the game kind of started getting dwindled down because that's when like it became more hot for kids to go to school early. So a lot of the big time high school prospects stopped going to the game. They just kind of opt out and go up to school pretty early.
Oh man,
I remember it was a big deal when I was playing in Pittsburgh because I really was unfamiliar with high school football in the state of PA. But when I got there, I really I learned how big it was and how competitive it was. And of course, look at some of the best quarterbacks that ever played in the National Football League came out of the state of PA. So the Big 33 at that time when I was in Pittsburgh, of course, it was PA versus Ohio. And now, as you stated, it's now PA versus Maryland. But yeah, it's been some heavy hitters that have participated.
Man, bro, some heavy hitters. It was for a time.
Yeah. So when you look at your high school career, being able to get an opportunity to play in the Big 33, despite all the stats and accolades in high school, why didn't the FBS offers come in, and how did you deal with that?
Man, bro, I think some people just are late bloomers. And coming out of high school, I was about like 180. Mm-hmm. So, the knock on me was that I was really just a 5'9" running back. I didn't really run no like 4.3 or no crazy 40-yard dash like that. So I think people kind of thought my ceiling wasn't too high, So a lot of people were trying to get me for a cornerback, even coming into the FCS. Mm. And that's kind of what brought me to Fordham, just because at that time we had Joe Moorhead, and he ended up going on to be a pretty big time college coach. But he just believed in kind of my ability to change direction very quickly, my vision. And I felt like that was what my strong suit was. So I kind of just bet on myself, bro. I went to a scheme where I thought it would be able to showcase my best abilities. And, it ended up working out for me in that way.
Man, I'm looking at this game. You talking about you going to Fordham. I'm looking at this game you had against Lafayette. 359 yards, 21.1 yards per carry. How unstoppable do you felt that? Like, that's just crazy. Obviously hearing what you just heard that you said size, you was too small, but you go out and have a big performance like this.
Yeah, the knock on that is it's against Lafayette P2. So I still felt unstoppable. Hey, I felt good though because it was pregame. And I used to get some love, man. I used to get some love in FCS. And one of the Lafayette coaches went and came up and asked me to sign something for his son. That's when that's
big. That's big.
Pre-game, bro. I can't make it up. Like they was treating me like I was real deal in the FCS. But that game was crazy. I think I broke the record because I guess FCS and FBS, the records sometimes combine. I had broke the record that game for most yards per attempt, per carry, most yards per carry, minimum of 15 carries in the game in NCAA history.
That's big.
Man, you average 2 first downs a carry, bro.
Man,
bro, that game was crazy.
What was the running scheme like? Like, what was y'all running?
Bro, we was just running spread, bro. We was literally just running spread, but we was running. We were heavy inside zone, and we used to run this play called Clippers and Crush, and it's like it's really just split zone, bro. Right. But you know,
hey, Chase, put your coaching hat on and break down split zone for our listeners, viewers that might not know exactly what you're talking about. Break it down for them.
So for us, it was split zones out of 11 personnel, and that's with a tight end on the field, and then you have 3 receivers. So we might run a play like dual left crush. So we might have a 2 receiver set to the field, and we're in a shotgun formation. I'd be on the quarterback's left, and then we have a tight end kind of choked up on the right. And what we do is we run a zone action to the right, and then the tight end would just come across, and he would always kick out that backside end. So when he kicks out that backside end, you know, it gives the tackle a pretty good angle to get to that backside wheel. And it just created a split zone action. And for whatever reason, the tight end coming across the formation would always mess with linebackers' eyes. And I just was really good. I had a really good feel to just kind of feel out how to press the hole, press it far enough where, you know, I'm getting that D lineman to kind of commit, and then just hitting that backside gap, replacing that linebacker really quickly. And obviously kind of at that level, you know, you don't got too many really good run fits going on. So I was able to bust big runs a lot.
So Chase, my question is, like, is there a certain prototype running back that needs to fit that scheme, or can a downhill running back fit that spread offense scheme as well?
I think it's different, P2. So I think you can gear it in different ways. Like, I think it's a lot of ways to run an RPO in offense. You know, I feel like you can run gap scheme RPO if you want, where instead of running zone scheme, you just run a one back power and replacing it with like a slant on the backside. You just read that backside wheel. But I think RPO scheme is kind of best fit for a zone, just because, man, when you start making those splits wide, man, you start making a lot of lanes, and you start having people having to pick and choose which gap to go to, and you can make somebody wrong. I mean, that's kind of what the NFL is gearing towards now, man. You see so many dual threat quarterbacks and so many RPOs going on to where it's just hard, you know, for y'all defenders to where, like, y'all got to play 2 damn people almost at one time, bro. It's like, you know, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't.
Yeah.
How many touchdowns do you have that game also?
4. 4 touchdowns that game.
Wow. Boy, I know you're in the record books up there in Fordham, so, man, hats off to you. No.
Appreciate you, brother.
359, 4 touchdowns. Go get that record. Let's see somebody go get that record. So, hey, Chase, when you look at everything you did at Fordham, and then in 2018, the draft is here. What was it like getting that call from Arizona in the 4th round?
Man, bro, I'll tell you what, my senior year was actually my hardest year, just because I only played 3 games, bro. I was chasing this stupid ass record. I was chasing the all-time D1 record for rushing yards. I only needed 1,200 yards to get it. You know, I was really supposed to shatter. I had never had a year under 1,600 rushing yards in my first 3 years, and I'm finally getting some hype about my name. I know I'm on top 10 running backs coming in preseason. I was like number 9 and number 10 coming in on the mock board, and you know, I'm finally getting this recognition, bro. And I started getting caught up in just, you know, the hype, man, because I never had the hype around me, you know. And I felt like I finally earned this hype. I finally am getting my name going, and I ended up getting a ankle sprain week 2, and I just remember, bro, battling, like saying, man, do I go back in? You know, I want to get this record. I was worried about this dumbass record, bro. And, you know, and I ended up trying to go back in, bro, and messed it up even more. And it was just a terrible year for me. You know, my film was terrible because when I was playing, I wasn't 100%. I was timid because I was kind of scared to get hurt, and it wasn't right. So my stock fell heavy. Agents stopped calling. Agents stopped hitting me up. So that was just a year of trials and tribulations for me, bro. And then, you know, but again, it was just a blessing in disguise from, you know, God works in mysterious ways to where, you know, my stock falling and everything like that, and how everything worked out. I ended up dropping perfectly to the Arizona Cardinals, to where my sister was already living out there, and my mom had just retired out there, you know, like 5 months prior. So, you know, I just believe that everything happens for a reason. But that year for me was just really mentally challenging. But I feel like it got me right, man, to learn how to weather storms, you know, in the NFL. That's really what all it's about, bro. Weathering storms and keeping your confidence at an all-time high, because that's the one thing I learned in this league, you know. I remember my rookie year being starstruck by P2, being starstruck by David Johnson, by Larry Fitzgerald. You know, just to be on the same field as people that, you know, I looked at growing up as like, damn, like they the ones, you know, they one of one. But I learned just being in the league, bro. If you ain't got that confidence in yourself, you're gonna get exposed quickly.
No doubt about it. And speaking on your journey to the NFL, what would you consider your welcome to the NFL moment? Was it that game where we beat the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay?
Yeah, probably. Because you know, I wasn't playing year one. Dave was the man and everything like that, and I was the backup or whatever. But I wasn't playing at all. So when I got my opportunity and was able just to do just a little bit of something and help us win a football game, I think that was big for my confidence, because I really felt like, okay, you know, I can play, man. I can at least play a little bit, you know.
That game, do you remember that catch that Larry made in that game though? That third down when Josh Rosen had rolled down. I can't remember.
The low dive.
Oh my God.
Man, Larry, man. I tell people all the time, because Larry, his last like 2-3 years, he had no business in terms of like speed wise and movement wise being on that field, but he was just so good, bro. I never seen somebody be able to locate the ball like that and snag it no matter what.
Yeah.
And one of the best short-handed wide receivers to ever do it.
No doubt about it.
All-time great.
Hands down.
All-time great, man.
Yeah. So, Chase, you talked about 2018. David Johnson was the man, right?
Yeah.
And then in 2020, David Johnson, who was the main running back, got traded to Houston for DeAndre Hopkins. What were your immediate thoughts on that trade? And then for yourself, what did you think about how your role can change? What changed with David Johnson no longer there?
So coming into 2020 with Dave no longer there, I think that was the year, because I had got hurt that year. So 2019, I got hurt after my 3 touchdown game. I tore my hamstring. And that's when KD came in and he did his thing. But I just knew that when, you know, David kind of being gone, that I felt like, you know, okay, it was a chance for me at least to be more into like integrated into like a 1-2 back system at least, and no longer like this young rookie backup that's just there in case the big guy get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, and kind of getting D-Hop to go along with K1, I remember being a lot of excitement in the locker room, man, just a lot of hype. We were starting to get big time names in that locker room, and, you know, expectations obviously go higher as you get the bigger names in there.
So speaking of Arizona, man, most recently, there was a lot of news coming out of Arizona. I think even before you signed your new deal with the Miami Dolphins. But were you surprised with some of the drama that went down with Kyler Murray? You know, he scrubbed all the Arizona material off his social media. It seemed like it was a disconnect between Kyler and the organization. You know, what were your thoughts on that little ordeal? And did you see that happening before it actually became a reality?
We both been in that locker room, Chase.
Yeah, y'all both been in the locker room under the same regime too. So, you know, fill us in on what's going on out there, AZ. Fill us in.
It wasn't surprising to me, bro, to say the least.
And why is that?
Just because, you know, being around the locker room, kind of just like, you know, man, I speak when spoken to, but my ears is always open. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
My ears is always open. So just kind of going through some things that I knew, like how certain things were done. I know us as players sometimes didn't always agree with, and, you know, obviously, man, that's kind of how it's always going to go in the game of football, with whether it's coaches, players, front office coaches, whatever the case may be, in terms of what relationship you're talking about. But I just know, man, especially knowing how the last 2 years had ended, meaning 2021 and I think 2020, and knowing the type of competitor that K1 is, and the type of, you know, winner that he wants to be and that he is, you know what I'm saying? I knew it was going to be, you know, at some point, some things happen, especially just because you see the power that quarterbacks have now, bro. I mean, Deshaun Watson just got 100% of his contract guaranteed, bar none. You know what I'm saying? So they hold the weight, man, and you got to pay him. And, you know, I feel like K1 obviously got to do what he got to do to make sure he get paid and take care of himself, take care of his family. But just in terms with that drama a little bit, you definitely saw it, man. The way things ended for us the last 2 years, it wasn't up to our standard at all, bro. And you can see the frustration get ready to boil over.
And that, go ahead, Pat P. I was going to say that's a nice segue when you talk about how things have ended the last 2 years for you guys. You guys start off on fire, but something happens where you kind of run out of gas. I mean, the Cardinals have struggled in the second half of the season. The last 2 years under Cliff Kingsbury, the Cardinals are 15-5-1 in the first 7 weeks of the season and finished in 9-2 to finish the season. Why is that?
Bro, I don't even know. And it's crazy because now that I'm not on the team, you can just sit back, man, and call it how it is, be honest with yourself, and you still have these conversations with the guys, bro, of like trying to figure out what the hell went wrong, goes wrong, and you don't even know. But I just feel like, I feel like sometimes, man, like culture establishes that. Like when you see like culture teams in the NFL, like Baltimore Ravens, the New Orleans Saints, the San Francisco 49ers, those teams that no matter how talented they look, bro, you know what I'm saying, from top to bottom, they just somehow find a way to win damn games. They somehow just find a way to continue to be in, big games and successful seasons year after year after year after year after year. You can go even like Mike Tomlin with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like he had them boys ready to go into the playoffs, and honestly, talent-wise, nobody believed that the Pittsburgh Steelers could even beat her. But it's something about that culture that you can't really put your finger on, man. It's like some teams have that culture and some teams don't. And sometimes it starts from the top from the bottom. It takes its place. But I feel like that's kind of what it was for us.
What you think of this, Pat P? Because, now you see it from different side as well. Chase is about to enter your world playing for another organization. Now you kind of see how other organizations do. What you think?
Spoke about culture. And I think the thing that Arizona do a bad job of dropping the ball is keeping keeping core guys there that can help you continue to build. Not just like a Chandler Jones, for an example.
Yeah.
There's no way in the world Chandler Jones should, if you're looking to win, if you're looking to compete for a Super Bowl championship, there's no way in the world Chandler Jones should be walking away. Mm-hmm. I don't care how you cut it. And I'm not even in that position. I seen it time and time again with Calais Campbell. A guy had great years after he ended up leaving. The list goes on.
Yeah.
They have a tough problem, or just keeping guys there that mean something to the team. I think they always, and Young is always, everybody, they want to follow everybody else's footprints of what they did. You can't do that in this league. You have to find your way and be authentic with your way, and can't follow everybody else's way.
Yeah. And those numbers I gave, I want to make sure I reiterate the last 3 seasons. Those were the numbers in 9-20 to finish the season. Last question, and we move on. Both of you guys, since you both participated for the organization around the same time and you played with Kyler Murray, do you guys believe Kyler Murray will finish his career in Arizona?
No.
Man, the way things are, just especially with how people just move, bro, and get traded, I don't think so. It's a new way, bro. It's a new era in the NFL.
Yeah, and I've been K1. He's a competitor. He's a fierce. And I feel like, no disrespect to the Arizona Cardinals, I feel like they don't put the team in position to be successful year after year after year. They want to sit and wait on draft picks instead of being aggressive in free agency. Go and get guys that can help you get better right now versus waiting on the future. And Kyler Murray's not going to sit around and wait for that. I've been around for him.
I mean, we kind of saw that this offseason when he, felt some type of way. The kid wants to win. He's been a winner every way.
No, he wants to win, bro. People going to say a lot of things about K1, but I stand on it. He wants to win more than anything. I promise you that. So if the winning ain't happening, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let's go to current time for you. Off-season hits. James Conner and yourself both headed to free agency. You knew exactly it was going to be a business decision, but one direction or the other. But how did you approach free agency, and what led to your decision to sign with Miami, the Miami Dolphins, outside of South Beach?
So I already knew going into free agency that I did want to just test the market, just because I felt like, I always want to do that in my life. I always want to go into free agency and just see what the league thought of me, bro. See what the league thought about my film, about my work, about kind of my projections and where I could go as a player. And so kind of how I approached it was just that, I felt like I kind of had my priority list. And for me, it was just salary, trying to play for a competitor and doing kind of what I felt like schematic wise was going to be best fit for me and best be for my talents. So Arizona did end up offering me a contract. They did, but they rescinded it once JC accepted his, which I figured that was going to be what it was. It was just a business decision, and I understood that. And for me, man, it was really between what I thought was Buffalo and Miami. I had no problem going up to Buffalo with Josh Allen, but in the end, I felt like Miami, the money was just a little more right and made more sense for me. And I did believe in McDaniel, bro. I believe in that system, that run scheme they got, and how they utilize the backfield, bro. I mean, I already got the playbook, and I'm telling you, the running back in this offense can eat, bro. So I'm feeling it.
I played against Mike Shanahan offense for years?
That thing hell, boy, out there with that running game, ain't it?
It's hell, bro.
Hey,
Lord have mercy. Hey, that could be some trouble, but
and that Shanahan tree crazy.
Hey, but real quick, Pat P. Speaking of that, the scheme and how I do believe you're going to do wonderful in that scheme. Fantasy owners already, I don't know if you pay attention to fantasy football, Chase, but they got excited when you signed with Miami, understanding the scheme that you would be a part of in 2022. But let's go ahead and give the fantasy owners a real, little sneak peek about what they can expect from you. What will an owner get out of Chase Edmonds if they draft him in this year in fantasy football?
Man, I'm gonna just say consistency, bro. I'm a big believer in, and I'm a big believer in just put up and shut up. You know what I'm saying? Going out there and doing what I got to do. But I believe that this year, man, I'm gonna be consistent for y'all, and I'm gonna stay on the field, bro. I've been really trying to just strive and take care of my body. I've had an unfortunate, it's how the game go, but it's an unfortunate 2 injuries that was out of my control with the high ankle sprain, and then tearing my hamstring a little bit. But this year, man, just striving to do my best to stay on the field and stay consistent, because it's crazy, bro. I love fantasy, but it's crazy how like I get deemed as a scrub and shit, bro. And it's like I think I missed 5 games last year. I got hurt in the first place, San Fran, so that don't even count. And I had 900 all-purpose yards, but I'm a scrub. I felt like if I just got in the end zone a few more times, it don't go like that. But that's how it goes, bro. So just consistency, man, and just doing my job, bro, and everything else will come with it.
And one thing about fantasy football, Pat P, you still playing, so you don't know anything about it too much. Fantasy football, when it comes to running backs, you need to draft the guys that not just can give you production running the football, but catches. Yeah, catches. That's what Chase. And I had you in one of my fantasy teams. I'm in 3 leagues, by the way. I used to get so pissed anytime we inside the 5-yard line, bro. Here comes James Conner, and I know you're a team player, so I can say what you probably don't want to say. That's some BS. You get him down there in between the 20s, Pat P. I got Chase rocking. That number 2 rocking, showing up. Soon we get inside the 10. Here comes Chicana. That's how the man had 27 touchdowns last year. Tell Coach McDaniels, don't take them red zone touches away from me, because I'm probably going to draft you again.
I need those.
Oh, no question. But the way you catch the football out of the backfield, it improved dramatically since your time in the National Football League. And because of that, you became a valuable asset for the Cardinals. And I do believe you will be a valuable asset for the Miami Dolphins. So I'm fired about fantasy. It's big money involved in fantasy, by the way.
I'm already knowing. I'm not even going to lie to you, bro. I think it's a conversation to be had. And I think, obviously, you got to get some smart people to figure out how you can protect the integrity of the game. But I think it's just funny how these owners, bro, they utilize gambling to their benefit. And the players, the one getting gambled on, you know what I'm saying? And they don't get no benefit from it. I think it's weird how that works, but I think it needs to change with that. Just how college athletes wasn't getting benefit off their name, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's the same thing. I remember seeing a stat, bro. Arizona had just legalized gambling out there. They said in the first 3 months, $3 billion, some crazy amount was gambled, bro. And sports gambling, that's crazy to me. That's crazy,
bro. What's going to really change the game with the NFL? We all know players can't partake. We just saw what happened, Calvin. But these new stadiums probably will have some type of betting spot in the stadium.
You saw Vegas.
Yes. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised the more, the newest stadiums that will be built, you can have a spot where you can go in there and put money on different games.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And you know how much money that's going to cash in. Because I see it, because I'm just like you guys. When I played the game, I was so unfamiliar with the favorite, the underdog, the point spread, all that. I didn't know any of that because I never paid attention to it. But since being retired and being required to talk about gambling, boy, Boy, that's a lucrative business.
Yeah.
Boy,
Lucrative.
that's lucrative, bro. And just fantasy is a piece of the gambling world. It is. Because most people who partake in fantasy leagues, we're fighting for something, and usually it's the almighty dollar.
Yeah. My last one before we let you go, Chase, and beautiful South Florida weather. What is your expectations this year with all the big names acquired to this Miami Dolphins team? What is your expectations for this 2022 season?
Man, our expectation P2 is a championship, nothing less. And that's what I love about the organization I went into. You know, McDaniel didn't even hide away from it. None of the players and the guys we got hid away from it. And we already got the whole team down in the facility working hard, man. And we know what it takes.
The whole team is there?
Whole team. But, bro, I was one of the ones not there. I felt bad. I'm like, damn, I'm looking like one of those guys. But, I had a family vacation. I had to do that for my mom's.
No question.
And I'm on the Zoom meetings and everything, like the whole team there, bro.
Wow, you don't usually see that.
The whole team, bro. You don't see that. And they kind of got a standard going already, man, that we getting that building, bro. We're gonna work smart and efficiently, but we're gonna work. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Chase, I know you're not familiar with South Florida, but if y'all start winning down there
and get a little love.
Also, too, now that if y'all do start winning, I'll say when y'all start winning, stay away from South Beach. Go to work, go home.
I'm solid. You know me. You know, hey, P2, I'm gonna run the streets a little bit, but I'll be all right.
Hey, you can tap your toe in the water just a little bit, just to see how it feels. But don't put that whole foot in there. Boy, you put that whole foot in there, you won't get it back.
You know the saying why the Dolphins are always not successful?
No question. And it's they don't know how to keep it in perspective. When you look at certain teams in certain places, you're not surprised why they lose. Like the Jets in New York, New York, the Giants in New York.
Look, man, New York teams is cursed, bro. New York City teams is cursed. It's over with that. And
it's something that you said earlier. It's all about the culture, establishing a culture, and being able to keep those guys that fit the culture, and that provides leadership.
You know what's crazy, bro? The first thing McDaniel said, I'll never forget it to me when I went in the office, I was signing. He was talking about culture, and he said, culture is built by people, bro. It ain't built by no damn building or by no damn team name.
No question.
And bro, I can already tell that he's a young guy, obviously first time head coach, but his goal, bro, is to really establish the right culture that you need to go in there and win games. And I feel like with the talent that we did a good job of adding this year, man, I feel like we can surprise people.
I spent a lot of money out there. And just tell McDaniels, man, keep you in for a few red zone carries. I got to do you like I did you last year. Hey, last question before we let you go. What number are you wearing?
Oh, 2.
Yeah, 2.
Well, I'm staying with 2. I'm staying with Deuce. Yes, sir.
I like that too. I like that too. And I'm a uniform guy, by the way. So I'm a former player, but I like looking at guys' uniform. Keep that long towel. How you been rocking in the AZ? I know oftentimes you have a little spat too. Yeah.
Gotta
Make
keep
sure that uniform together. I tell Pat
P
all the time, you can't walk out like the uniform man in the locker room. You know, they have that uniform man on the wall.
Hey, should I go orange cleats or like the aqua teal cleats this year?
Go orange with orange gloves.
Say no more. With orange gloves?
Yeah. Okay. Or either white gloves. Them white gloves be hitting. But you go that teal. If you go that teal with maybe that all white.
Yeah, you gotta go teal with all white.
I like that. Say no more.
The teal
P2 get you looking right now.
Oh yeah, hey, Matt. You say you
gonna get you looking right now.
Hey, Pat. I used to call Pat all the time after that game. I see you was looking right, Pat P.
Hey,
I see. That's the first thing I'm looking at, the uniform.
Ask Chase when they want to wear a certain uniform. What they do? P2, man. Go talk to Mark. You need to wear that all red. We didn't wear them red bottoms.
All red, crazy. That all red.
No question. Hey, Chase, man. Thank you for joining us. All things covered. Pat Peterson, Brian McFadden, man. Nothing but success for you and your team. I mean, like I said, y'all boys spent a lot of money. Now it's time to put the production on the field, and we do believe you will do so along with the Miami Dolphins. So, man, thank you once again for joining us on your birthday. This man just turned 26. 26. Man. What you doing tonight for your birthday or this weekend? You got anything planned?
I got one of my college best friends live out here, bro. So I'm gonna just go with him. We're gonna kick it, get some food, bro, and watch these playoff games. I'm chilling, dog, because my celebration was already. I'm good.
And while you're there, Chase, you got to go to Novikov. It's like a Chinese cuisine. It's mixed with something else. It might be Japanese and Mexican mix.
Nova what?
Novikov.
Novikov. All right, say no more.
I'll
check that out. Is that a vibe for a shorty? That's a solo vibe.
Oh, it's a vibe for a shorty.
Say no more. I'm gonna tap in.
Vibe.
Tap in. Tap in. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Hey, be safe, Chase. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir.